I married my unemployed, so my parents kicked me out. BF 8 years later, my BF buys their house and I kick them out. I, 30F, was raised conservatively. My parents always stressed marrying a wealthy, successful person. My older brother, 35M, married a wealthy 33F woman at their request. Tom, 32, had just earned his MBA and was unemployed, looking for a business opportunity. 8 years ago, I was dating him. My family, notably my brother and sister-in-law, bashed my decision. They branded Tom a loser and said I wasted time with him. Tom's proposal made things worse. Yeah, I accepted. After I told my family, they were upset. My brother and sister-in-law convinced my parents I was making a big mistake. They said Tom would never succeed, and I'd regret my choice. My parents gave me 2 choices: break up with Tom or leave home. I choose Tom. I packed everything and fled because my family told me I was unwanted. They refused to meet or try Tom. Tom and I married with close friends in a short ceremony. First, we lived in a tiny apartment and barely made ends meet. Tom's business idea gained popularity, and things improved incrementally. 8 years later, Tom's business is thriving. We're rich beyond my wildest dreams. We travel the world, live in a lovely property, and are comfortable. Tom has always been my rock, loving and supportive. A common acquaintance told me my family was struggling financially. They were in debt due to unwise investments. To reduce their debts, they sold their enormous family home. Tom suggested buying the house. I was initially hesitant, but I felt it would be an opportunity to confront my family. Tom handled the acquisition because my family hadn't met or recognized him. Tom made an offer on the house yesterday after visiting. Due to a financial need, my family accepted immediately. Deal closed fast. I visited home today. My family was packing when I entered. My presence stunned them. My brother quickly denied me entry and said the residence was no longer theirs. I dropped the bomb then. My husband, the unemployed lover they had criticized years before, bought the house, so I told them it was mine. Their expressions were priceless. Shocked, they remained silent. Then they begged, calling us family and begging for financial assistance. I declined, remembering how they handled Tom and me. I gave them a month to leave under the sale agreement. They were shocked when I departed. I worry whether I went too far. AITA for buying their house and giving them nothing after how they treated us? Update 1. I was surprised by the response to my post. I appreciate the feedback and insights. I've been reading them and wanted to add context and updates. To answer some common inquiries, my family knew I was married to Tom but never tried to reconcile. They only knew his first name and had never met him, so they didn't recognize him during the house purchase. The house is special to me. Despite everything, I retain pleasant memories of my hometown. We bought it mainly because of that. This decision was thoroughly discussed with Tom. He supports and agrees with our approach. The update follows. After my last post, things intensified. My parents regularly left apologies and accusations on my voicemail. My brother wrote a lengthy email justifying their behavior and appealing for another chance. I met them one last time to clear the air. Meeting in a cafe near there, now our house was neutral. Tom accompanied me for support. Initial meeting tension was high. My mother cried when she saw us, but my father and brother looked angry and desperate. My sister-in-law looked uneasy. I let them talk first. They apologized, admitted their mistake, and hoped they could turn back time. My brother claimed jealousy influenced his behavior. He was always the golden child, and seeing me with Tom challenged his status. When I spoke, I was calm yet firm. I informed them about Tom and my early marriage troubles, how we helped, worked, and built our life together. I said their rejection hurt but strengthened me. I said I would have a civil relationship with them, but couldn't forget or forgive what they did. Replacing trust would require more than apologies. I told them I wouldn't help them financially. Their bad choices were their fault. However, I offered 3 months rent-free in the house instead of 1. To allow them more time to move and organize their finances. They complained that family should help family. I persisted, reminding them that they didn't consider me family when they dismissed me. The meeting concluded inconclusively. Looking discouraged, my family left. Tom and I returned home exhausted emotionally. Conflicting feelings persist. Sometimes I want to help them more, but sometimes I think they don't deserve it. Tom will back my decision, but he reminds me of how badly they hurt us. Update 2. Much has happened in the past few weeks since my previous report. This community's help and advice are much appreciated. It's helped me see things and decide. My family seemed to retreat after our cafe rendezvous. We gave them 3 months to leave the house and rent a smaller one. I assumed that was it, but I was incorrect. My sister-in-law discreetly contacted me last week. She requested a meeting on a crucial matter. I met her for coffee, curious and suspicious. She sobbed when we met and said that she had turned my family against Tom and me. She said she worried that my friendship with Tom would eclipse her, and my brother's family position if he succeeded. She admitted to feeding my brother and dad negativity about Tom, exaggerating his unemployment, and portraying a dark future for us. She even acknowledged to hiding Tom's employment offer letter at our family home before we departed. Shocked and furious, her actions hurt and divided our family. But as I saw her cry and plead for forgiveness, I felt strangely relieved. Finally, I understood why my family was so cruel and unforgiving. I told her I needed time to think and would talk to Tom. Understanding, she went, looking relieved and apprehensive. Tom was as astonished as I was when I informed him. We spoke about it for ages, discussing how this new information changed our sentiments. We decided on another family gathering after considerable debate. This time we hosted everyone at home. My family saw our lifestyle for the first time, and I could feel their amazement and envy. I requested my sister-in-law's statement at the meeting. Watching my parents and brother react to this confession was hard. They felt rage, bewilderment, and remorse after realizing how easily they had been duped. Especially my brother appeared devastated. He apologized sincerely to Tom and me, saying he should have supported his sister instead of his wife's jealousy. Tears and apologies filled the meeting. We felt clear by the end. I stressed that this explanation helped me understand their behavior, but it didn't erase 8 years of misery. Tom and I agreed to restore our friendship. Yet it would take time and effort from everyone. We also remained hard on the house and their finances. As we did when we started our lives together, we told them to accept responsibility for their actions and decisions. They seemed to accept this, but I could tell they wanted more money. We agreed to start with little initiatives like occasional family dinners and finished the discussion cautiously optimistic. I feel lighter but concerned. Rebuilding trust will take time. Tom and I are taking each day as it comes. Third and last upgrade. I wanted to update you 6 months after my last update on this situation. Since the discoveries and family meeting at our house, we've been gently mending connections. It's been hard and there have been setbacks, but I think we're progressing. We started monthly family dinners, bouncing between house and restaurant. Initial dinners were unpleasant, with forced discussions and tension. They relax and become more real over time. My folks have tried to get to know Tom. He received their personal apology for judging him without meeting him. Tom, being kind, has been gracious about it, but I know he still feels upset. I've had several heart-to-hearts with my brother. He's sorry for abandoning me and allowing his wife's jealousy cloud his judgment. He's been in treatment to cope with being the golden child. My sister-in-law is apologizing. My brother and she are also in couples therapy to improve their communication. I respect her efforts, but I am wary of her. Broken trust takes time to repair. Financially, we've kept to our house selection. My family downsized and is organizing their money. They fought with this, but I think they're learning that they must take responsibility for their choices. After observing their efforts to adjust and re-establish relationships, Tom and I decided to help differently. We offered to pay for financial planning workshops to help them budget and make better financial decisions. This offer was warmly welcomed. We're teaching children responsible investing through a tiny family investment fund. We can assist them guarantee their future without giving money. Since we talk business and financial plans, this has brought us closer. This incident strengthened Tom and my relationship. We've discussed family, forgiveness, and limits often. Tom's support during this process has been unshakable, and I'm more sure than ever that I made the right choice 8 years ago. The house that caused pain now symbolizes new beginnings. We've rebuilt sections, eliminating terrible memories and establishing happier ones. A year ago, we couldn't imagine hosting family reunions here. I don't regret buying the house or sticking to our guns. Breaking old family patterns and forging a healthier bond was important. Things aren't perfect and we still have friction, but we're better. This encounter taught me about forgiveness, limits, and open communication. I also learned that family connections may be repaired with effort from all parties. The journey has been difficult. The initial years with Tom were hard. We barely survived in a tiny studio apartment. Tom worked hard on his company idea while I worked 2 jobs. There were times we ate instant noodles on our second-hand couch, wondering if we had made the right choice. We had each other, which was enough. Tom's business took off that day. We were excited and nervous. Success presented challenges. We had to adapt to a new world. We confronted it together, as we did with the hardships. The absence of my family hurt during those years. Holidays were toughest. Tom and I made up our own customs while others celebrated with family. Friends that accepted and supported us became our family. We were emotional when we heard about my family's financial problems. Part of me felt justified. They struggled after harshly judging us, while another part was sad. I considered them family despite everything. The day I entered the house and saw my family's stunned faces was strange. The roles were entirely reversed. I'll admit that disclosing that Tom The man they had discarded so casually had bought their property was satisfying. However, the complexity of feelings soon eclipsed that satisfaction. My sister-in-law's confession changed everything. Learning that she was the main reason my family hated us was both frustrating and enlightening. It clarified the dynamics from years ago, but also generated new wounds. One of the hardest parts was forgiving her. The past 6 months of relationship rebuilding have been difficult. Each dinner and discussion feels like a minefield. All parties have suffered, yet there's a willingness to move forward, to save our familial relationships. I faced my resentment and hurt. I often doubt whether I'm doing the right thing by letting my family back in, but then I witness their sincere efforts. I feel hopeful as my parents get to know Tom, my brother goes to therapy, and my sister-in-law makes amends. Finances remain a touchy topic in our relationship. I support our choice not to bail them out. They must learn from their mistakes, as Tom and I did. However, financial planning and investment knowledge seem like a good start. As they say, it's teaching them to fish, not giving them one. Tom has been my rock throughout this process. His forgiveness and desire to give my family a chance, despite their treatment, surprises me. He says he does it for me, but I know it's because he's nice and generous. His assistance enabled this reconciliation. I learned a lot from this. I realized that forgiveness is powerful for you and the person you forgive. I learned that limits may enrich relationships when imposed with love and clarity. I now understand that family is complicated, messy, and imperfect, but also changeable. Most significantly, I've learned that love, the type Tom and I share, the sort that weathers storms and celebrates joys, is the cornerstone of everything. It gave us the strength to overcome those difficult early years and today to negotiate this complex family scenario. I appreciate your company on this adventure. Your advice and assistance were invaluable. My final update, yet I feel that our tale is far from over. I'm delighted to start a fresh chapter for the first time in a while.